See, one of my favorite bands of the last 10 years, 10, 15 years, their song is being covered by one of my favorite artists right now. Wow. Welcome back, Old School Nerd.
It's time for reaction. Welcome in. Old School Nerd.
Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd. I'm back. I was gone for a week, almost an entire week with pneumonia, but we're back. I'm feeling much better. So I have two videos to do this Monday that have to get done. Why? Because they're two videos that a lot of you were really anticipating. The first one we're going to do is going to be Disturbed, the Vengeful one, the piano vocal cover by Ballad Orlandi. The second one will be probably Ginger, which will probably be coming up about a couple hours after this one. So two amazing female voices on one day. You're welcome. Okay, you only had to wait extra days because I was sick. That's my bad. Okay, big changes to the Patreon. We have 4 tiers on Patreon now. So check them out. Go to oldschoolnerd.com. It's got the Patreon link for those who want to support the channel. It's got all of our social media feeds and the merchandise store. So I'm going to tell you guys more about how changes to Patreon are going to affect the channel. Big things are changing coming up soon. When I've been sick for 4 straight days and do nothing but think about how to make everything better for all of you. Yeah, brainstorm with a fever and cough syrup. This time we're doing a Ballad Orlandi reaction without being on prescription level cough syrup. So hopefully no comments about chest voices. Sorry. I'm gonna move out of the way. Ooh.
Observing the chaos, taking in the lack of raw humanity. It's as if the entire world's fallen in love with their insanity. Hear the innocent voices scream as their tormentors laugh through all of it. No forgiveness from all I've seen, the degradation I cannot forget. So sleep soundly in your beds tonight, for judgment falls upon you at first sight.
I got chills.
I'm the hand of God, I'm the dark Messiah, I'm the vengeful one. Look inside and see what you're becoming. In the blackest moment of a dying world, what have you become? Look inside and see what you're becoming.
All right. First verse, first chorus out of the way. One of my favorite things about Disturbed is their lead vocalist. He is so dynamic in his voice. He does some of the best lower range notes, and then when he goes high, it's got a lot of power. But he's really known for those low guttural notes, but yet still melodic. He's not growling. You know what I'm saying? So even though we see singers that can growl and go very low, right? Alex Terrible comes to mind, right? That's not what we're talking about, okay? This is resonance low singing, okay? And the lead singer of Disturbed, he's one of the best voices in metal, and his voice is iconic because they're one of the few bands that melodically, they do a lot of great composition and arrangements to where it's very fast paced and it's very hyped up, very epic sounding songs. But the lead singer of Disturbed has just a genuine voice that whether he's speaking to you, shouting, doing that low register where he can speak connected to you, or he resonates up, he has a very heavy impact. It's almost like him and Violet Orlandi are cousins, maybe a strange brother and sister, because Violet is also very much the same way. She's known for her deep, rich, lower-end vocals, but when she does go up, it's got a lot of power. This is an acoustic piano ballad cover. So although you don't have that hype style music that Disturbed is known for, it's kind of an electric, technologically driven industrial metal that they kind of use, which is great. A lot of people love it. This is really broken down. And, you know, two of the biggest songs that Disturbed has are acoustic ballads. Seriously, right now. So the Vengeful one, if you go back and listen to the Vengeful one, it's one of their heavier songs, and it's amazing. When you hear the guy who's playing this piano cover of this, he's allowing his bass hand, his left hand, to really make sure that he's pounding out the chords to give the depth, to give the power that this song has. The original non-acoustic cover, the original of this, the non-acoustic version, lots of power. You know, when you come off of some of Disturbed's earlier work, it was all about punching you in the face with lyrical content and music. So to break it down into just a piano cover and knowing that Violet she's going to have to sit there and bring a lot of the energy and the passion that Disturbed is known for just with her vocals. The piano player is doing a great job helping her with that by bringing in those really hard hits on the bass clef side on his left hand. But without her dynamic voice and the way she does her work, it doesn't connect. This really hits. That's just the first verse and the verse chorus. I've talked enough. Shutting up. Let's go on. You hear it? He's really getting that left hand to give that power that you get from Disturbed.
The violent surges and the teeming masses have been terrorized. The human predators all gone mad, are reaping profits born from their demise. The rabid media plays their role, stoking the flames of war to no surprise. Only too eager to sell their souls, for the apocalypse must be televised. So sleep soundly in your beds tonight, for judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God, I'm the dark Messiah, I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moment of a dying world, whatever you become.
There's something about, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Violet Orlandi is a fan of David Draymond's voice, who's the lead singer of Disturbed. And the way Disturbed does their imagery, their power, they do a lot of dark songs too. Are they macabre in their styling? Not so much, but a lot of their lyrical content can go very, very dark. It can also be very uplifting. But the way that David does his lower register vocals, especially when he starts a verse and he sings it in that middle range, and then at the end of his ranges, he always comes down to that na 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 na. You know, David does that. That's a tag. It's a signature thing that Disturbed does whenever he sings a verse, and he'll do a tag under it in a lower register. It's part of his stylization of his vocals. She can do it too, because that is kind of her range. It's her happy place. Violet Orlandi's happy place is in that lower registered power alto area. She can do rich lower tones better than almost anybody can right now, because unlike a lot of female singers that are very lighter, and when they go power, it usually has a tendency to drag upwards, her power can stay right in that mid register and even drop if she needs to. Vocally, this song was perfect for her to do a cover. There are covers that she may do that may step out of her comfort zone. For instance, when she did the cover of David Bowie from Labyrinth, that song had some parts in it that were outside of her comfort zone, but she's an amazing artist and she pulled them off perfectly. This song by Disturbed, and a lot of the songs by Disturbed, are going to be right in her wheelhouse. So she's not going to struggle with a song by Disturbed as much as she would for some of it, because David and her have a very similar vocal styling, which means the rest of this song for the next 2 minutes is going to be epic. Let's continue. Hear that shaker. Okay. Something happened just now. She's gonna roll her Patreons, which is awesome. If you're not a member of her Patreon list, you should be in there. It's awesome. I do want to say something real quick. During this last section of this song, I could hear in my head, I was like, man, there's a great cajon part. I would be like, I was playing in my head like, dude, this would be great on a cajon. Da, da, da. And then all of a sudden I thought, I was hearing it in my head and I thought, oh, I could just feel how the cajon and accompaniment would be great. You could really do a good acoustic accompaniment and hand percussion with that and da da da. And then when I stopped my thought process and went, wait, there is either a shaker or a cajon in the background of this audio. You have to listen very closely for it, but someone is in the back playing a rhythm in it. It's subtle, but it's right there at the very end. And I was like, same idea. So I'm like, yeah. So this is the kind of piano cover that you can expect me to want to make a cajon cover to. Like, this is begging to have a cajon cover to. It may happen. If it happens, it'll probably go on Patreon, let's be honest, because I'm not that good. And every time I make a cajon cover to a Violet Orlandi song, and I've done 2 already, it's pretty embarrassing for her. She's like, dude, make that dude stop playing. He's bad. I'm kidding. She's probably never seen them. Anyway, so that was Violet Orlandi's Disturbed Vengeful One cover. Again, David Draymond and her, even though the stylings of their music are different. Disturbed is very electronic, very high energy metal. Miss Violet Orlandi has a tendency to do a lot of acoustic stuff, but she's very versatile. Of course, so is Disturbed. But their vocal stylings are very similar. So anything from Disturbed, odds are Violet Orlandi could literally knock it out of the park, like she just did with this one. My name is Old School Nerd. Thank you. Got some more coming up, and this one was great. If you're not following Violet Orlandi's channel, yeah, you should be clicking that right there. You should have already clicked that. I did. You should have already clicked that. Go!